There is a man in your life right now who has never had a real conversation with you. He knows what you drive. He knows how you handle being disrespected in front of others. He knows the exact thing that makes you flinch, and he knows what you are afraid of losing. He has never asked you a single question, and you have no idea what he wants. You were taught to ignore this man. You were handed a comforting little rule somewhere in your youth. It sounds like wisdom, and it is a lie. The rule is this: if a man had a problem with you, he would say something. A quiet man is a safe man. That rule was not built to protect you. It was built to keep you easy to move. The men who announce themselves are never the ones who take anything from you. The loud rival, the open enemy, the man who insults you to your face, he is a gift. He tells you where he stands. You can prepare for a man like that. The one you cannot prepare for is the one who says nothing and watches everything. And the world trained you to walk right past him. Today, I am going to take that training out of you. Here is the first thing they never told you. Silence is not one behavior. When a man goes quiet and watches, you have been taught to read it as a single thing, usually harmlessness, sometimes shyness, occasionally respect. That is the error that costs men their position, their promotions, and their whole standing among other men. Because a man's silence is not one intention, it is four. And the four look identical from the outside. They wear the same face, the same stillness, the same held tongue. But underneath, four completely different engines are running, and each demands a completely different response from you. Give the wrong response to the wrong silence, and you do not just waste your effort. You hand a man exactly what he was waiting for. Sun Tzu wrote that if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear 100 battles. Men love to quote that line. Almost none understand what it demands. It does not say defeat your enemy. It says know him first. It says that engagement before recognition is not courage. It is exposure. You cannot read a man's disposition by walking up to him. By the time you are close enough to feel it, you are already inside his range. So we are going to read the four silences from a distance. Your father did not teach you this, and I do not entirely blame him. Most likely, no one taught it to him either. This is knowledge that gets buried on purpose, because a population of men who cannot tell a threat from a nothing is a population that is easy to manage. By the end of this, you will stand in a room, look at the quiet man in the corner, and know which of the four he is. The first is the cataloger. He is building a file on you. Not a metaphor, an actual, patient inventory. He watches how you behave under pressure. He notes who you defer to and who you talk over. He learns where your money sits, where your ego sits, and the precise distance between the two. He measures the gap between the man you present and the man who leaks out when you think no one is looking. What he is doing is cold and rational. He has not decided how he feels about you yet. He is gathering the information required to decide whether you are an asset to be used, an obstacle to be removed, or a nothing to be ignored. His silence is not hostility. It is the silence of a man loading a weapon he has not yet chosen a target for. That word, yet, carries the whole threat, and most men never hear it. The fool feels flattered by the cataloger's attention. He mistakes being studied for being respected. The strategist feels the temperature drop. He knows that attention without warmth is not admiration. It is reconnaissance. Here is his tell. The cataloger knows things about you that nobody told him. A detail slips out. He references a decision you made in a meeting he was not in, a number you never mentioned, a weakness you have never spoken aloud. He did not hear it. He assembled it. Machiavelli warned that the man who is neither your declared friend nor your declared enemy is the most dangerous in the room. He owes you nothing and has told you nothing. The cataloger is that man. He is the reason you never perform your full self in front of an audience you have not read. The second silence is the dismisser, and this one has cost you more years of your life than you would ever admit. The dismisser is also quiet. He also watches, but he is not building a file because he already ran the calculation and you did not clear the bar. His silence is not strategy, it is arithmetic that is already finished. He looked at you once, sorted you, and moved his attention somewhere it might actually pay off. Now here is the cruelty in it, because you have lived it. Men spend months, sometimes years, trying to win the respect of a man who stopped thinking about them in the first week. You perform, you escalate, you engineer little moments to impress him. You read his silence as a challenge, a wall to scale, a prize behind a locked door. And the whole time, there is no door. There is a man who filed you under not relevant and never opened the file again. The fool tries to earn the dismisser's approval and calls it ambition. The strategist recognizes the arithmetic and withdraws his energy in the same instant because he refuses to pay rent on a man who owns no property in his life. The tell is this: the dismisser's silence is not personal, it is categorical. Watch where his indifference stops. If he ignores you specifically while engaging others freely, that is a message meant for you. But if the silence extends to everyone below a certain line, everyone who has not yet proven useful, then you are not singled out. You are sorted. That is not an insult you need to answer. It is a category you exit by becoming something the arithmetic cannot dismiss. You do not argue with the dismisser. You make yourself impossible to file. Now, the third silence. And this is the one that will hurt you if you get it wrong, because it is the most dangerous of the four, the fearful. He watches you because he is measuring himself against you, and in every measurement, he is losing. His silence is not calculation, and it is not dismissal. It is self-protection. To engage you directly would be to risk exposure, to be revealed in open comparison as the lesser man. So he says nothing. He stays in the shadow of his own quiet, and he watches, and something in him curdles. Here is what you have to understand about the fearful, because it is the ugliest mechanic in human nature and no one will say it to your face. Envy that never gets spoken does not fade, it converts. Resentment a man is too afraid to voice does not dissolve, it hardens, it privatizes, and it goes looking for an exit that does not require him to admit what it is. He will not challenge you openly, he will wait. He will undermine from angles you cannot trace back to him. He will move at the exact moment you are most exposed, because that is when the pressure inside him finally exceeds his fear. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the part of a man he refuses to look at, disowns, and buries. And Jung's warning was precise. What you do not make conscious runs your life from underneath, and you call it fate. The fearful is a man ruled by a shadow he will not face, and the man like that is capable of things in the dark he would never admit to wanting in the light. His tell is the cleanest of all four, and once I give it to you, you will see it everywhere. The fearful's attention intensifies when you succeed, not when you fail. Watch a man closely on your best day, when you win, when you are recognized, when you rise. The others lose interest when you are up. The fearful locks on. Your victory feeds the resentment, so your victory draws his eyes. The fool celebrates his wins loudly for everyone. The strategist notes who in the room got quieter as he got higher, because that is the man who will move on him later. The fourth silence is different, and I want you to feel the shift, because you have been braced for a threat 3 times now, and this one is not a threat. The mirror. He is also watching you. He is also silent, but he is not building a file. He has not dismissed you, and he does not fear you. He is studying you because he wants to become something, and he has decided that something looks like you. His silence is the silence of a man taking notes he is too proud to admit he is taking. And here is the tragedy that plays out 1,000 times a day. Most men never notice the mirror. They are so conditioned to read silent attention as a threat that they treat the one man who could become an ally exactly like the 3 who could become enemies. They push away the apprentice and cultivate the rivals. The mirror's attention is the only one of the 4 that costs you nothing, so nothing in you flags it. The threats trip your alarms. The ally moves in silence and gets ignored. The tell is slow, and you will only catch it if you are patient. The mirror's behavior begins to converge on yours. A phrase you use starts showing up in his speech. A standard you hold starts appearing in his conduct. He is not mocking you and not copying you to your face. He is absorbing you quietly, the way a serious man learns from someone worth learning from. The fool treats every watcher as an enemy and ends his life surrounded by no one. The strategist can tell the student from the assassin, and he knows that missing the mirror is how a powerful man ends up alone. So now you have the 4, the cataloger building the file, the dismisser already finished counting, the fearful curdling on your good days, the mirror quietly becoming you. 4 identical silences, 4 opposite engines, which raises the only question that matters. How do you tell them apart before it costs you? And here is the mechanism, the thing that separates this from every shallow list of signs he is watching you that you have ever been fed. You cannot decode a man's silence by reading his face. His face is the one thing he controls. Silence is a fixed state, and the fixed state gives you nothing back. You can stare at a still surface for a year and learn nothing about what moves underneath. So you do not read the silence, you disturb it. Attention is not a state, attention is a response, and a response can be provoked. You introduce a variable, something small, something deniable, something the man cannot help but react to, and you watch what his attention does. The reaction happens before he decides to have it. In the half-second before a man governs his own face, the engine underneath shows itself. That is the window. That is where the 4 separate. 3 probes. The first is a visible, small win. You let a genuine success become known. Nothing staged, nothing loud, just real and visible. Then you watch. The cataloger files it and recalculates your value. The dismisser does not react at all. You are still in the wrong category. The fearful locks on, and something tightens in him he cannot hide. The mirror shows the one response none of the others will, something close to fuel. He is glad because your win is proof the thing he is studying works. The second probe is a controlled, small vulnerability. You let a minor limitation show, deliberately on your terms, nothing that actually costs you. The cataloger leans in. You just gave the file a new page. The dismisser stays gone. The fearful relaxes for the first time because your weakness is the only thing that soothes him. The mirror moves to cover the gap because an ally instinctively steadies the thing he is trying to become. The third probe is a deliberate, short absence. You remove yourself briefly and watch what happens to the attention. The cataloger's information goes stale and he waits, patient, for your return. The dismisser does not notice you left. The fearful relaxes his shoulders. The pressure is gone. And the mirror asks where you went, because the man learning from you feels the lesson stop. Run the probes. Read the reactions. The silence that would not speak has now told you everything. And once you know which of the four you are standing in front of, your own conduct has to change, because the same behavior that saves you from one of them will destroy you in front of another. In front of the cataloger, you control the file. You cannot stop him watching, so you stop leaving him the truth. You become deliberate about what you let him record. A man who knows he is being studied and studies back is not a victim of surveillance. He is running a counter-operation, and the cataloger will never know his file is full of things you chose. In front of the dismisser, you withdraw the performance completely. Every ounce of energy you were spending to win him, you pull back into yourself. You stop arguing with the arithmetic and go change the numbers, not for him, for you. One day, the man who filed you under nothing has to open the file again, and that reopening is the only answer to a dismisser that has ever worked. In front of the fearful, you never hand him the exposed moment he is waiting for. You assume the move is coming, because it is. You do not befriend him to disarm him. The fool tries that, and it only gives the shadow a closer angle. You keep your good days quieter around him, watch your flanks, and remember that a man who cannot say what he resents will eventually do it instead. And in front of the mirror, you engage him first. This is the one relationship of the four worth building with your own hands. Turn and acknowledge the student. A mirror who is met becomes loyal in a way no bought man ever will. And a mirror ignored long enough starts to wonder if he was ever really lesser at all. That is how you manufacture a fearful out of a man who came to you as an ally. That is the whole discipline. 4 silences, 3 probes, 1 changed man doing the reading. Now the warning, because you have earned it and because you need it. You will not be able to switch this off. Starting tonight, you are going to walk into rooms and feel the quiet ones. You will catch the cataloger's borrowed detail, the dismisser's flat, categorical nothing, the tightening in the fearful when good news reaches you, the slow convergence of the mirror. You will read the men around you with a clarity most people go their whole lives without, and some of what you read is going to be about people you trusted. That is the cost. This kind of sight does not come free. The man in the corner is still there. He is still silent. He is still watching everything you do. The only difference now is that the watching runs both ways, and he does not know it yet.